struggle anymore with the tripod. I'm stalling because I don't want to start. Oh. Okay. Hi there. My name is Katie, and I'm deciding to give this YouTube thing a go. Like most of you, I've spent the majority of my formative years watching YouTube videos, and for the last several, I've wanted to actually start a YouTube channel. Now, I didn't really know how to go about this because the closest I'd ever gotten was just randomly filming myself in my room, on my bed, while I did my makeup very poorly, and reviewed products. This is a place where I find comfort, solace. I turn to YouTube videos a lot to find happiness, to feel that I'm not alone, and part of me wanted to do that for whoever may watch these videos, even if it's just me in a couple years. I am currently a senior writing studies and literature major in university. I am 21 years old, and like most of you, I am stuck in quarantine in my house. Luckily, everyone in my family is safe and healthy, and I hope that yours are as well. I also wanted to start this YouTube channel to put myself out there, to do something new, to try to learn a new skill, because Premiere Pro is not a joke. But yeah, I'm just gonna give it a go. My little niche, I still don't know how you say that word, on the internet is going to be the fact that I would like to be a traditionally published author someday. It's been a dream I've had since I was a little girl, and I thought I would document my progress, document my story, even if it's just for my children, my grandchildren, me one day, my family, my friends, whoever may look back at this and be like, oh, you did that when you were 21. That's what you looked like, that's what you did, that's how you thought about writing and reading and all those kinds of things. So this is me giving it my best. So, since I'm a newbie to YouTube, obviously, well, the filming of YouTube anyway, I'm going to do the authortube newbie book tag number 2. I will leave all the information and a couple of the ones that I saw down below in the description, as well as everything else that I think to put down there. Anything I mention, any products or anything like that, I will always put in the description box, because I am a nosy person, and when I watch videos, I often like to look at what people have in the description boxes. And so, yeah, anything you'd want to know, if I can find it, will be in the description box. Y'all know what the drill is. So, the first question is, what's your book pitch? I actually currently have 2 works in progress that I'm currently pursuing and writing on. They are in 2 very different stages. The first one I'm calling The Wrath Project. Now, this project is very near and dear to my heart. I'll do an entire video on The Wrath Project because I'm going to be editing it in Camp NaNoWriMo July. So, I finished the first draft in April, and this is what the pitch is. Just answer the question, Katie. So, here's the official pitch. Despite the perceived end of the brutal war, Azario is still being plagued by black magic, undead sorcerers, plagues, and political conflict. The House of Red has regained control and placed a crown on their Kingslayer's head. With the tyrant out and the Wrath King settled firmly into position, the kingdom is about to be rebuilt for a new age of peace. But whispers carry in from the east. Rumors of a great shadow flutter through the castle walls. Death has risen from the silver waste, and the red priests tell of a darkness coming for them all. Smaller summary that's a little more distilled is, Death is pissed that people stole his skull, so he's working with the necromancer to take over the kingdoms, and local king takes offense to that. So yeah, that's the Wrath Project. And the second project that I'm going to be working on is probably going to be in the vlogs that I do, and that is titled Project Eclipse. That one doesn't have a title, the Wrath Project does, but Project Eclipse is what I'm currently planning, world building, crafting, in all sorts, in any kind of capacity, which is difficult at the best of times. And so, yeah, here's the pitch for that one. It's much less developed. John Wick meets Six of Crows, meets Hotel Artemis, meets Killjoys, in a sci-fi fantasy punk novel turned sideways. Foreboding prophecies, a cracked continent, creatures that hold monstrous shapes, and an eclipse that some believe will cause the end of the world. But of course, it hinges on the found family trope. So yeah, Those those are my two projects that I'm currently working on. I have a bunch more, and I would like to make a video talking about my creative story process and how I come up with ideas, how I take ideas and try to transform them into novels, that kind of thing. So we'll just have to see. Question number 2. If you were a book, how would you pitch yourself? Here's my very clever pitch I came up with last night. Katie is a tired university student, coffee addict, and dog lover. If you love bad jokes, typical YouTube content, in-depth commentary on films and books, and lots of peace signs, then hit the subscribe button down below. Sorry to get a little bit cheesy there with how YouTubey. I've just watched a lot of YouTube, and who doesn't want to try out these things when they're trying to make a YouTube video? Just me being silly. Cheers to that, huh? Number 3, what do you usually write? I write pretty much everything. Fantasy, sci-fi, horror, speculative. Basically, if it is in those general ranges, I will pretty much try to blend it into one genre and completely turn the genre on its head. That's kind of what I enjoy doing with writing. Yeah, so I have even delved into Western, and I know what you're all thinking. Why would you do Western? Maybe one day I'll tell you about that project, my Western project. That I tried to write, but it needs a little more time marinating in my head, so be on the lookout for that one. What's something you will never write? Actually, I don't know if I got those right. You know what would have been smart? Getting a mirror so I could see what's happening on the other side. I didn't. My audio is still on. Editing me is gonna hate that later. I already made title cards for this, like cards to put over so you can see what the questions are. I have modified a couple of them simply because I wanted to respond to them in my own way. So, next question is, what will you never write? Contemporary. I don't think there is a plot that I have thought of at the moment that would convince me to write contemporary. I've written contemporary before, like a little bit, like just a smidge. I had one idea for it. It was like a matchmaking, like multi-POV, multi-romantic relationship kind of deal that took place like mostly in a coffee shop, and like had like fake dating, like, you know, all the usual contemporary romance tropes, and I never got around to actually physically writing it. I think I was about 14 at the time when I came up with it. So yeah, I will probably never write contemporary. I never say never, but in all likelihood, I will probably never do contemporary. What is your goal for starting an authortube channel? Great question. Pretty much everyone's goal when they start a YouTube channel. Become rich and famous. No, just kidding. Although that would be nice. First and foremost, my goal is to become more comfortable and confident in my writing and in myself. I've been watching a lot of live streams with YouTubers recently, particularly Kate Kavanaugh, Laura Wrights, Kevlandia, the Courtney Project. She has awesome late night ones. Adele Marie, again, all their channels will be linked down below, but I'm sure if you're on authortube, you've already seen most of them or watched their videos. And I decided I kind of want to be involved in the community. Laura Wrights also put out a video a couple weeks ago now, I think, that was basically reflecting on her 1-year anniversary in authortube, and also her talking about why she joined authortube and why she thought anyone else should. So I was kind of inspired by that to join authortube, kind of. We'll get into that. Also, this is a way for me to document my life and my journey in writing, so also I love to talk, so kind of the best of both worlds. This question I changed up a little bit from the original one, and I've changed it to, what started your writing journey? I have been writing since I was very young, which is essentially why I changed the question from what made you want to start writing? I don't really know. I just love stories, and my writing journey has been really long and kind of rocky and a little bit weird for about 11 years, which is over half my life. I'm 21. I was actually not 11 years. Maybe it was 11 years. I don't know. For a very, very, very long time, I roleplayed on a forum for a very cringy fandom. Although, I kind of want to make an entire video on cringe culture as well as a sidebar, just because I don't think you should be ashamed of your past and what you liked as a child because you were a child. Although I roleplayed on this website far beyond when I was a child. So I continued that for many, many years. I developed a lot of my writing skills on that website. I was very active. I would write thousands and thousands of words a day to reply to others. Yeah, I wrote a lot. All of my writing progress up until when I finally stopped going on there, which was about 2 or 3 years ago. I can make an entire video on role playing and why I think it's a great tool for young writers. But in short, I really love writing. I've always loved writing. I've written since I was very young. What's your publishing path? Traditionally publish. I don't think I'm really cut out for indie publishing. Not that I'm trying to knock it at all. I don't know very much about indie publishing, and B, I would love to be traditionally published. That's kind of the dream at this point, right? For most people, or I don't want to say most people, but for me, it's been a dream. What content do you want to produce? I pretty much want to make all the kinds of content. I essentially want to make the kinds of content that I enjoy watching. So that includes anything from vlogs, get ready with me's, to in-depth video analysis of films and TV shows and books. Day in the lives, talking about my projects, talking about writing advice. Also, I love roasting movies and films and books, so I would like to make content in which I talk about those things, because I love doing it with my friends, and that's the kind of content I would like to watch. What is your biggest writing struggle? This may come as a shock, since I think this is a very uncommon struggle to have, but it is dialogue, which is weird because most people have struggle with description, but that's actually what I said was my biggest strength, so I'm going to talk about them together in tandem. I think the reason that dialogue is the hardest thing for me is because I think it's difficult for me to try to think about a conversation that goes two ways and try to convey things in dialogue. I feel like I'm just much stronger when it comes to writing description and I think it comes back to my role-playing background, simply because I spent a lot of time writing description and I didn't write the responses, my characters and what they were saying. So essentially I got really good at writing a lot of description, a lot of setting, a lot of world building, a lot of character description and weaving it together. So I think that is my biggest strength. Yeah, I would say those are my strengths and weaknesses, and I'll probably talk about them more in writing vlogs because I tend to discover them as I write and as I talk out loud to myself about what my problems are, or problem areas in writing. What are you looking for? Friends. Sounds so dorky and so lame to say, but I'm really looking for people who share a similar interest to me in writing, who want to talk about it, who want to engage in discussion about writing, and about thoughts and feelings and things that come with writing, and how you basically put your heart on the page and then let other people read it, and then most of the time critics will rip it to shreds and people will be like, oh, I like this but I didn't like this, and it's like, how can you not like that? I ramble a lot. I've been trying just to become less of this private, anxious person, and I'm hoping it's not coming off on camera that I'm kind of uncomfortable or I'm kind of anxious, because I am. Obviously, when I edit this, I can edit out all the weird faces I pull and the moments where I'm thinking about what I'm gonna say, or I already think that I've looked too much away into the distance, because that's what I do when I talk to actual people, is I look into the distance and I think and I wonder, and then I form what I'm gonna say. Also, I think I'm a little bit of a fast talker, so apologies that I'm fast at talking. I'm trying to slow down, but when I get into a rambling phase, my words per minute go up. So yeah, and even if I'm the only one who ever watches these videos, that's good enough for me. Final question is, what are you most excited for as an authortuber? My excitement really comes from the fact that I will get to interact with people, that I get to learn new skills, that I get to be a part of a community, that I get to learn how to be myself and how to talk to a camera, how to be a better person, I think. Putting yourself out there is really difficult, and I applaud everyone who has done it and is doing it, because it's not easy. I almost said because it's not hard. I just said it was hard. That'd be contradictory. So I think I'm excited to hopefully see growth. I know a lot of authortubers have said that joining authortube has helped them move forward and make progress. Yeah, I'm just gonna give it a whirl, essentially, and yeah, we'll see where it goes. So that's an introduction to me, Katie. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, leave me a comment. Yeah, it was a little bit weird, but welcome to my little corner of the internet. All my socials and stuff are down below, so I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!